Hi, I'm Dave Meckie, and you're watching What's Your Story, where you'll meet interesting people doing interesting things in interesting places you'll never see anywhere else. And here's today's story. Today we're talking to Shaun Parry. Would you consider yourself an actor, dancer, musician?
Singer, dancer, actor.
Singer, dancer, actor. Got to get the right order. From New York, who actually grew up in Arizona, but he's a very talented actor, and you've been on Broadway about 20 years off and on, is that right?
Yeah. Been out in New York 19 years now, going into my 20th year. Yeah.
So you're here for a specific reason for a few weeks in Salt Lake City.
Yeah. Well, it's two main reasons. What brought me out this time is the World Parliament on Spirituality. 4 years ago in Hyderabad, India, we had the first World Parliament on Spirituality and at the Global Peace Auditorium.
Wow.
There in India.
You were there?
And I was invited to speak and present at that on spirituality and the arts. So representing arts and culture.
Right.
And how that literally lifts humanity and can make a difference rather than just being entertainment. Yay! No, how can we really use it to lift humanity?
I like that.
So and this is the second World Parliament on Spirituality 4 years later.
So what's it all about? What's the World Parliament all about?
It's actually a topic I'm really passionate about, and that's why I'm involved, is because basically we are in a phase of the development of humanity where for so long we've been saying, I'm right and you're wrong, I'm saved and you're not, and fighting against each other about doctrines and what we believe, and yet, don't we all want the same thing?
Yeah, sure.
Don't we all, like when it all comes down to it, you boil it down to brass tacks, we all want peace and love and prosperity for the whole human family.
Yeah.
So why are we fighting?
With a few exceptions.
There are those, and right?
But yes, overall.
So that's the whole idea is, well, so let's go to that under fabric that we all want and stop fighting about, keep your doctrine and keep your beliefs, and yes, that's wonderful, but let's join hands and lift humanity. And it's the first time in the history of the world that we can do it by the millions.
I love it. That's awesome. So you began with the group in India, is that right?
That's the second reason I'm here, is for the nonprofit organization that I run called Promethean Spark International.
Okay, so it's two separate things.
Two separate things.
Promethean Spark.
Yes.
Tell me what that's all about.
Promethean Spark International, I actually have the little card there for that with the logo and everything.
Show the audience.
And so it's Promethean Spark International, and I'll let you look at that. It's got a little bit of explanation on the back. So it's basically utilizing the arts to a much deeper level than what we've done thus far.
Okay.
Using it for life coaching.
Okay.
And so it's an experiential learning process. So basically the humanitarian world has been working for basically 3 generations now, since the 50s, when we really kicked in.
Right.
And the statistics for the third world countries, for developing countries, has remained the same for 3 generations. We're still getting 75 to 93% dropout rate, or not going to school for the youth and children in these countries.
Wow.
And so all of the leaders and in the social impact world are looking at it and starting to say, wait, we're doing something wrong. What is it? What are we need to change our model, and Choice Humanitarian is doing a great job of revising and saying, wait, how can we help from the inside out rather than trying to change it from the outside in?
Right.
And that's what this is literally doing. And basically, we're building lots of schools, right? I mean, you hear it all the time. Oh, I went and built a school in Uganda, or So we build a school, get a teacher in there, take 100 kids from the slums, stick them in the school, and say, mark, set, go.
Yeah.
Good luck. And seriously, from their life as survival in the streets, hand to mouth, trying to figure it out day by day, and then say, all right, now sit behind a desk for hours and hours every day.
Yeah.
And And by the way, we're not going to do anything concrete. It's all going to be conceptual. And you're going to listen to this teacher drone on about things that really have nothing to do with your life right now.
Yeah.
And for them to be able to somehow figure out that it's going to help them in the future, like 10 years down the road.
Yeah.
They don't have that capacity to be able to comprehend long-term goal setting and to be able to use symbolism and to have a self-determined environment where you take initiative and you actually sit for hours and hours, and eventually you get better and better and better at these things, and eventually you get paid to do it.
Yeah.
Whoever taught them all that stuff?
Yeah. Well, I'm not convinced that the school system in the United States is really appropriate any longer. I mean, it was developed for the industrial age as a way to train a workforce.
Right.
And we're really not the industrial country any longer. And things are considerably different, especially in the digital age. So I think there's
Absolutely.
some big changes that need to come down here.
Huge changes all across the globe.
Yeah.
And it has to do with this age of enlightenment that we're entering, where
Yeah.
the whole globe is in a transitional phase. And so basically what we've done with Promethean Spark now, and it works for all humans. It's not just for impoverished youth.
Sure.
I mean, get a room full of CEOs and go through the training, they'll get a lot out of it.
Yeah, good.
You know, because we're teaching them discipline and focus and goal setting and perseverance and respect and I think all these things that are the basics of succeeding as a human being.
Yeah.
It's not only for one culture. Everyone needs it.
So how large is the Promethean Spark organization at this point, and what kinds of places is it having its meetings and working and creating things at this
Yeah.
point?
Well, we're registered in New York City. That's where I live.
Okay.
And so we have a few of our members, strong members, keeping things running there, and I do a lot of recruiting there. And what we do is...
So is that your baby?
Yeah,
Or-
I created Promethean Spark.
Excellent.
I'm the founder.
Okay. Awesome.
It was 2005 when I first started it. So it's been 9 years since we registered as a 501c3.
Yeah, good.
So yeah, we've been going for about a decade now, and we are working in leprosy colonies in India.
Really?
Got a strong program over there. Wonderful. We always work with sister organizations, so that we're not walking in there saying, we're going to help you, we know what's best for you.
Right.
You know, so we go to local organizations that are working on the ground, and then we work through them to make a difference in the local communities and such. So we're working with Rising Star Outreach of India with hundreds of leprosy affected children there. We have the first ever dance troupe created out of youth from leprosy colonies.
Really?
And as far as we know, the first in the history of the world. And these kids, there's 20 of them in the troupe, and we work with them 5 days a week, an hour every day. They've performed for just over 15,000 people so far. And it's absolutely amazing. They're literally on the front lines of lifting the stigma of leprosy off the minds of the people. Like when you get 1,000 VIPs and CEOs sitting there in their suits, and on the stage comes these kids from the leprosy colonies who are usually shunned and said, untouchable.
Right.
And they start doing things and moving them emotionally and telling their story from the stage on a very professional level. And these people are literally blown away. And there's rarely, a dry eye by the end of the program. And standing ovations from CEOs and VIPs, and it's so amazing because every single one of them, when somebody in their circle gets leprosy, they're not going to send them to a colony and say you're untouchable anymore. They're going to say, let's get you medication, let's take care of you, it's just a disease, and continue living a dignified life.
Yeah.
And if we can get that out to millions of people, eventually nobody's going to get sent to a leprosy colony anymore. All the people in the leprosy colonies will grow old and die, and we've eradicated leprosy in India.
Yeah.
So these kids are on the front lines. They're pioneers, really making a difference.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If anyone wants to get in touch with you to be a part of this, what phone number should they call? How do they contact you? Is it strictly by email?
Yeah, well, online is perfect. So
Okay.
we have our website with prometheanspark.org is the easiest way. Then, I mean, I'm fairly available online. So you can just look up Shaun Parry,
Okay.
ShaunParry.com. Go through that and contact me through a contact page there. And
So
that works perfect.
prometheanspark.org, no spaces.
No spaces,
Okay.
straight across. And oh, by the way, Promethean is spelled with 2 E's.
Okay.
A lot of people try to put an I in there and they're like, I can't find it.
Spell it for them.
PROMETHEAN spark.org.
Okay. Excellent. And the other one was
Shaun Parry, ShaunParry.com.
no spaces. Okay. You got it. I appreciate you coming.
Thank
This
you
is
so
exciting.
much. Yeah, some really cool things
exciting.
happening.
There's a lot of things that I resonate on that you're working on. So thanks for coming. Thanks for coming.
Great, thank you so much.
It's exciting stuff.
Absolutely.